So I just saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie. For context, I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan of this character or anything, but I did play a couple of these games and I'm very familiar with this world and these characters. This franchise is just super popular. So I was actually pretty excited for this movie when I saw the trailers, but then the first reviews came in and they weren't good. So I guess I went into this movie excited but also skeptical. And I gotta say, it's actually decent and I was entertained the entire time. This movie was made by Illumination and I would say it's one of their best movies. I mean, it's not a high bar to set, but it could have been way worse. It's not anything amazing. Don't go into this film expecting a cinematic masterpiece, but I was completely satisfied walking out of the theater. This movie was made for the Mario fans. There are lots of neat references and Easter eggs to the games that I liked, and I know that Mario fans will love them. The animation in this movie is incredible. I would say that this is Illumination's best looking film. The animation really helps bring this world and these characters to life. Everything is super colorful and smooth. The landscapes and backgrounds are super realistic while still staying true to the video games. I actually like how some of these sequences are shot and directed. Many of these fight scenes are very fun and full of energy, like the fight between Donkey Kong and Mario and the Rainbow Road sequence. They were shot very well. This movie manages to keep my attention for the entire runtime. Now for the voice acting, I actually thought it was decent and it didn't irritate me as much as I thought it would. Chris Pratt actually wasn't that annoying. I remember everyone trashing Chris Pratt playing Mario as far back as the first casting announcement in late 2021, and the first trailer sure didn't help, but I'm glad to say that he wasn't bad in this movie. I mean, I still wouldn't say he did a very good job. I don't think he found that right voice for Mario in this movie yet. And I liked him way more as Emmett in the Lego movie, but it was a big improvement from what the trailer showed. I also liked Charlie Day as Luigi. He did a pretty good job. For Mario and Luigi, I get why they didn't want to cast the same voice actors for these characters from the original video games. It wouldn't have fitted the movie, and I thought that both Chris Pratt and Charlie Day did a good job. They were fine. Anya Taylor-Joy also did a good job voicing Princess Peach. I don't have much to say about her. Seth Rogen was fun as Donkey Kong. I actually liked him way more than I was expecting to. He's just very charismatic and funny. But the standout here is, of course, Jack Black. He did such a great job voicing Bowser. He can be very menacing in some scenes, but also very funny in other scenes. The direction that this movie takes for his character and his motivation behind his actions in this film is just so unironically funny. I'll talk about it more in the spoiler section. But there are some scenes where Bowser is just playing a piano and singing, and Jack Black just embraces it. It's like the movie wrote Bowser around Jack Black, and it's great. So yeah, the voice acting is good across the board. There are some actors trying more than others, but there wasn't a performance that I hated. Well, I didn't exactly like the acting for Cranky Kong, but whatever. Sure, the cast might just be big name celebrity actors, but as long as they do a good job, I'm fine with that. Now let's talk about the story, which is one of the weaker parts of this movie. It's standard and simple, and I guess it suits the movie. The plot is that Luigi gets captured by Bowser and Mario travels to Mushroom Kingdom to get help, and he teams up with Princess Peach and Toad to try to stop him. This story doesn't really have an emotional core or interesting elements, just the standard story for every other Mario game, and I'm fine with that. It's a Mario movie. What do you expect? I do wish that in the future, if they do more sequels or spin-offs, they make the story more original and fresh. This is the starting point, so I don't expect this movie to do anything massive or change major things. But with future installments, I do hope they do something interesting with the story and try something new. I like how they tie into the human world in this movie in the beginning and at the end. I do think the story rushes once Mario gets into the Mushroom Kingdom. This movie is very fast-paced, not letting us breathe for much of the runtime. I mean, this movie does get my attention and keep me entertained. for the entire runtime, but I wish that there were more scenes establishing these characters and this world. I think the second half is way more fun than the first half. Alright, now I'm going to be talking about some of the problems about this film. First of all, like most Illumination movies, there are just too many popular licensed music playing throughout the entire film. It's really annoying and even sometimes took me out of the movie a little bit. Illumination has to stop doing this. It's really irritating. I don't like it. Just use the freaking Mario music. I don't mind that. They also try to make this movie have emotional moments, but it didn't work for me. I wish that they could have spent more time developing these arcs since they have those payoff moments in the final battle where the characters get to prove themselves. But I don't feel that much. I mean, I'm actually fine if there wasn't any character arc or emotional moments in this movie. It's just supposed to be a fun time. But when you spend a lot of time trying to get these underdeveloped and forced character dramas to work, it just falls flat and doesn't do anything to me. I also have some other problems with this film, but with that, we have to get into spoilers. So skip to this timestamp if you don't want to be spoiled. Here's your warning. Alright, so like I said, I thought this movie rushed some parts in the beginning. Like Mario just goes into the Mushroom Kingdom, bumps into Princess Peach, and then they just start the adventure. I wish there was a scene where Princess Peach was just talking to Mario about this whole world, how it works when compared to our real world. We don't get any context for this world at all. Luigi and Mario just stumble into this pipe and they get transported into the Mario world and they just accept it. Also, some of the emotional moments that I talked about not working were in the scenes where Mario and Donkey Kong were just stuck in the fish, and Donkey Kong was like, my dad doesn't believe in me, and then Mario's like, my dad also doesn't care about me, and it was just so forced and random. We didn't get any of that conflict throughout the entire film except for that little part at the beginning. I think that Luigi's arc about him finding his bravery and saving his brother was at least a little bit better and more developed. But Luigi gets incredibly sidelined in the second half of this film. He just sits in a cage for the majority of the movie. So when he also gets the star at the final battle, it doesn't feel earned. But I actually did like Donkey Kong's and Mario's rivalry throughout this movie. It was very fun, and the fight scene was also very cool. The Rainbow Road kart scene was also very fun and directed very well. I actually wished it was a bit longer. I like how Mario and Luigi are in fact from the real world, and I like the beginning. I was afraid of how they were going to incorporate the real world into this movie, and I'm glad to say that this worked. I also think the original actor for Mario was at the beginning and end at the movie, so that was fun. And of course, the fact that Bowser's main motivation was that he wanted to marry Princess Peach. That was just so unironically funny. Like, yeah, I would have wanted Bowser to be mainly menacing and serious, but that whole piano scene where Bowser was just singing about Princess Peach was just very funny. He actually does have a lot of villainous presence in some scenes, but the direction that he took the character was just so unexpected. I actually really liked it. The Super Mario Bros. Movie is just a fun time. I know that this movie isn't getting the best reviews right now, and I kinda get that. As a movie, the story is weak, it rushes a lot, and the characters aren't that developed, and the emotional moments don't work. But as a Mario movie, it delivers everything I wanted, and I was completely satisfied. There are some great references and Easter eggs to the games. There is so much here for long fans of Mario to love. The jokes land, the voice cast is decent across the board, the animation is great, there are some great directed and shot sequences. It's just very enjoyable and entertaining. Don't go into it expecting a masterpiece, but I think the casual audience will enjoy this movie a lot. I really enjoyed it and would definitely recommend it if you like fun, enjoyable movies. And I'm giving the Super Mario Bros. Movie a 7 out of 10.